Well, thank you. Never heard that before. Just let me know.
Now we're allowed to buy the tickets too, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're not exempt from.
We better not be. I want that cooler.
Because I know some of the places that
Color.
are.
Thank you. Yeah, I love that color more than anything. It's drawn me to it. I was like, I need to have that.
I bought one the other day. I bought it for $5. And my picks ended up with the last piece. Good morning, everybody, or afternoon.
Good afternoon.
If you will join me in the saying of prayer, please. Heavenly Father, may these words, as well as the words of the Rotary four-way test, to speak the truth, to be fair, to establish goodwill for all. May these words inspire us in our daily work and in our daily lives to do our share as your partners on earth to make this a better world. May the words that we pray and the deeds that we do be acceptable to you, O Lord, our rock and our redeemer. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. I'm confused this morning for some reason. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If you'll join me in the saying of the best things we think, say, or do.
First is the truth. Second is fair to all concerned. Third, will it build goodwill or better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Okay, not a whole lot, sound like a broken record, not a whole lot going on out there. There was a card that went around. Joan Foley lost her husband. So we had a card go around. If anybody, I think everybody here signed it. The other thing we were going to touch base on was the fundraiser, but everybody's one step ahead of me. They've got the tickets printed already. So I did print, but I do not know why I could not, if I enlarged it, it printed off the page. So I do have some flyers. If somebody wants to take some, they are small, but I didn't have time to play with the copier over there to figure out what was wrong with it. So I do have some of those, if anybody wants to take them. We decided on tickets, $10 each and 3 for $20. We've got our tickets now, so it's, I mean, if you want to sell them now, sell them. We said it was going to start the first anyway.
Actually, I already saw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, and the drawing will be June 30th. The t-shirts, I sent an email. Oh,
May I just do a quick follow-up with that? So there is an event page through our Moundsville Rotary page. Please share that. Just from sharing that, I already sold $100 worth of tickets. And then there is the flyer as well that's already been uploaded to our Moundsville Rotary page. So please share those. Thank you.
Also,
This ain't looking promising, Jody.
He forgot that he'll come.
It's at the
We'll
hotel.
come, we'll come.
It's actually at the hotel. So we can pick up any.
Okay.
No, no. I also did, we talked about last week doing sponsors, getting people to sponsor. And I have a letter that you can use and share. I've got a few copies. One email, I can email it to you, just let me know. But I just, you know, I mean, your company, I know is.
We're doing $500.
Thank
And I
you.
think mine's going to, I just kind of, I'm not in the position I used to be. I used to just think this is what we're doing and do that way.
I started out asking for the tickets, and then I said, well, hey, we're on sponsors, so let's scratch the tickets and let's go up some dollars here. So,
But I do have this letter, so if you want it, and we need to advertise that I will have tickets if anybody, even you guys need more tickets.
I'll add that to the event page that they can stop in and
they
sleep
can
in.
stop at Main Street if you want to give me extras too.
Okay. And I'll add that on to the.
The other thing was the t-shirts. I did send out, I don't know if everybody got the email. I forgot to put, there was something I done in an amendment to it or whatever you call them, because I forgot to put prices or size. I forget what it was, but I do have a form if someone didn't get it, and it's in a good thing to print them out and bring up. You didn't get it on the deck, anything? Do you get what Ashley sent, like the?
I've been having issues.
Okay, all right. So let me resend.
I apologize. Will you resend that to me as well? I very well could have just missed it.
And, well, I don't know. I could have done something goofy and not.
I'm gonna take the blame on this one.
Because I was having a hard time that day. So are you in?
I received it.
Okay, the system now? It is, Sarah.
Yes.
Okay, all right. PEX update. Sharon and Ashley both attended PEX this past weekend.
We did. Ashley?
Yeah, so I'm going to stand up because I am so proud of our club. The first thing I want to say is thank you very much for this opportunity, and thank you to our club for electing me as president-elect. I am very humbled and honored to represent our club. And I'm just going to share very briefly. It was an amazing day. I was so grateful that Sharon was there with me. What I learned and the people that I met, I've already made friendships. I'm already working with another Rotary Club, and we want to join forces. And so it's just really exciting. I have a lot of great ideas that I can't wait to share with us. But the most proud moment was we all introduced ourselves and said what club we're from and what we're most excited about for this upcoming year. And so many clubs are excited to meet in person again. They haven't met this whole entire time in person. So when it was my opportunity to speak, I was so proud to say what our club has been enjoying over COVID in the last year. So thank you so much, Madam President, for all your help and leading us in the right direction. And you know, we have been able to fulfill all of our service projects this year. We may have had to do them in a different way, but we did not take a step back. We were able to help as many people as we always have. So I just want to say thank you to our team. We are really taking some action and changing lives. So thank you.
What she said. And Ashley represented us very well. And we did, I mean, you always make a lot of connections at PET, so it's really cool. We sat with, we sat in areas, and our area is area 2. And so we were sitting with Rabbi Lee from Wheeling, who's their incoming president. And he's so excited. They haven't met all year either. Oh my gosh, he's so excited. But they want to work with us. You know, we always said we wanted to work with the other 2 clubs in our area. And then we didn't. And then we did the Rise Against Hunger, and it was wonderful, and everybody loved it, and then COVID came. So they want to do a Rise Against Hunger again, too. They want to do things in conjunction with us and New Martinsville. So we will get all 3 clubs working together again. But definitely Wheeling is really excited to work with us on things. So that was cool. One of the things that I will do some research on this if we are interested. This is something that Joan was interested in a few years ago, and then life happened, and then more life happened. And so she didn't follow up on it, and she was real excited about it. And you know how it is. So you got to be excited about something. You got to want to take the lead. I don't want to do it, but I would help with it. Flags for Heroes, are you guys familiar? I remember talking about it. Okay, well, Fairmont started it. And what Fairmont does is they sell a flag. They sell their flags, I think, for $35. Buys a flag for their hero, and it's for whoever. It's, you know, somebody's in the military or has killed them in the military or whatever. Fairmont puts some of people's phones. So they sink a thing. That's the technical name. They sink a thing into the ground so that you can still cut over it, but then you just have to put the flag down in. They partner with Boy Scouts. So they partner with the Boy Scouts for putting the flags in, and then when the Boy Scouts put the flags in, every flag they do a little ceremony for that flag, which is really cool. And they end up getting competition between neighborhoods because this street says, hey,
that street has more flags than us. So they've now got, how many hundred, do you remember? You weren't in that group.
Mm-mm.
700, I think they have 700 subscriptions, and there's 500 active ones. That's pretty cool. So I printed out their, now Cheat Lake likes that idea, but they changed theirs up a little bit. I think they also call it flag healers, I'm not sure. Oh, here's a picture. I'll pass these around. Picture of Fairmont's flags on the streets. Cheat Lake sells flags and they put them in a group. So there are 3 places. I've seen 2 of them. One is off of 68, if you're headed like towards the stadium and airport. I can't remember the name of the road. There's a bank there, and it's all in front of the bank. And another one is on Patterson Drive, right by the Arts building there. I don't know where the other one is, but they have huge, big, like a big field of flags. And same thing, you buy it in honor of somebody. I went online and looked at their Facebook pages. So if you're interested, go to Cheat Lake and Fairmont's Facebook page, and you'll see more. And when I looked at, with Cheat Lake, had them assembling the flags onto the poles and all this. They did a lot. I mean, I know it's gonna be a lot of work, but how cool is that? But the thing is, last year, the Mount Olivet Lions Club started to do it, and they have the flags up on Route 88, right into going to Bethlehem.
It is beautiful.
It
It's
is
nice to
awesome.
see, especially when the wind is blowing and all the flags are
Right. So Mount Olivet Lions did. You guys are Lions too, don't you? Go down there and tell.
Cameron also does it. They
Well, theirs are
do
different.
Hometown Heroes.
Right.
And they're put up, I think they were put up this past weekend at the B&O station in the middle of town.
Right, yeah, that's really
But
pretty.
it was it's basically for the same military.
Well, and I don't even
active.
care if the Lions want to join us, but we gotta do it first, because we have this little competitive thing going with the Lions. So, does anybody want to take this on? Fairmont made $15,000. And that's after they gave the Boy Scouts their cash.
Council
Anybody?
does do something similar to Cameron as well. If you've seen, in the month of Veterans Day, is that they do the flags of the whole month, and it's the picture of the individual and their name, and they're on the flagpoles on Jefferson Avenue, but they're only up for that one month, so it's not something that stays there.
Well, these go up, these clubs put them up before, they're up from like now until after the 4th.
I was gonna say, they're up on Jefferson now.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
Okay.
those
Well,
are.
these guys take them down after the 4th, but then they put them back up before Labor Day and take them down after Veterans Day. So that's what they all do. Are we interested? I mean, it's a lot of work. Are we interested at all? Do we want to follow through with it? Is anybody else interested? Because I don't want to waste the time if we're not going to do it. But if we even think we might, I don't mind changing it out.
I think it's a good idea.
Is anybody-
But with
so-
that, I mean, with Moundsville already doing something like that,
Well, it's not like it, though.
banners
Yeah, it's not the same
where they're
thing.
recognized, I don't know.
I mean, I
Do you
don't
think
know
that's
if
gonna
the same thing.
affect?
So Fairmont, I buy this little flag, right? They put it in the ground, so I pay $35 for this flag. And they put the hole in. I'm trying to get an idea of what.
There's
this
the
is.
big flag.
Theirs is a huge
Full
flag.
size flag?
Full-size
Full-size
like
flag.
that.
Yes,
All right. What about the ones in Morgantown?
they're big.
They're the big flags as well. Okay.
Yeah.
And we put them on, or they go around and they,
We put them up in the scouts.
okay.
Then we take them down and then we put them back up.
Right.
So we would have to do it.
So you go around and put them in the holders are in the yard.
Right.
So before, like now, we would be going around, putting the flags in the thing. And in the holder. And then we would take the flag. I don't know why you wouldn't.
Take them down for
A month.
Flag Day.
Yeah, well, there's Memorial Day, Flag Day, July 4th.
Labor Days.
And then veterans.
September 11th, and Veterans Day.
Now, where in the area are they doing this? Right along the road?
They do them kind of along the road so that when you look down the street, you see the flag. Here, there's a picture. Somewhere here.
Do we purchase the flags?
Yes, we purchased the flags and then well, I lied. It's kind of a picture. There's a Boy Scout living in.
So anyhow, I pay $35 a year.
Yes. And it would go in front of your house where people would see it. And every year you renew your.
You don't have to be in the armed forces or anything. You can be anybody.
Oh, no,
who's
it's perfect,
supposed to
anybody. Yeah, absolutely.
I remember Jen talking.
And I like Joe got off site when we heard about Fairmont, and then a couple years ago, Chief Lake started. And I like seeing, I really like seeing the great big bunches of flags, but I don't know where we.
Can you
the
Can
riverfront.
you see how much time it takes to go or?
What would depend on how, if there were to be too many variables.
Yeah.
How many flags you do?
Right, yeah.
And what are the
They get
costs of
all
the
done in a
flags?
day. I mean, they move it out of there on Saturday.
Well, I mean, they're talking like hundreds of them. I don't think we would start out with hundreds. What do you say?
Do we know what the cost of the flags are? Like what the club would make off of each?
They said, and I don't remember, but if we're interested in it, I'll just find out where they get their flags and how much they pay. But they're gonna, I mean, they made $15,000 after they paid the Boy Scouts. So it's obviously a lucrative fundraiser too.
Okay, so why don't you do some research, look in, and then next week
Okay,
we'll talk about
I'll
it
check it out.
more with prices and that.
Go
kind of stuff.
on and look for Chief Lake and
Fairmont. Okay.
Thanks, Sharon.
You're welcome. Now, in discussion back here earlier, I heard they said to add it to summer picnic. Is that something we want to do again this year?
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So are we looking at the same thing because still some of the distancing rules? Grandview and.
Grandview would be willing to, it would just have to be during the week because we're fully booked on the weekends right now. But if it's during the week, we would be willing to do the large shelter for the same cost, $75 that we did last year, which is a $300 savings.
And we've usually done like on a Wednesday night anyway.
Mhm.
Sounds good.
Did we do it on a Wednesday evening?
West Bank is
Wednesday or
how we do
Thursday?
it.
I can't remember.
Letting loose. They might be able to start coming back in July.
So we could do the picnic in one or two ways. We've done it before, like in August, like later in the summer, right?
Yeah, we've done it.
Yeah, but we've also done it in June, and that was like the changing of the guard thing. And if we don't do it in June as a changing of the guard, are we gonna do a changing of the guard?
I think it's nice that we did.
I think it's nice. Do we want it to be the picnic, or do we want to do it at a meeting? Want to have a formal dinner?
If you're coming in, Miss Ashley, what would you prefer?
I definitely don't need a formal dinner. I think that's a little much. I'm fine with if you know, if
I have
Time.
the gown rented and everything.
we'll just wear it next Wednesday. I'm fine with whatever, you know, people are going to attend. I like the picnic idea. I said I got to meet a lot of spouses last year. It gave us a great opportunity. My husband still talks about how wonderful Bonnie is because he sat with her. So I thought it was a great opportunity to have our club get together. But if people won't attend, then I'm fine with just doing it at a meeting.
Anybody else? So what if we had a picnic and did the changing of guard?
Yeah, I like it.
And we could invite, we need to remember to invite the governor.
I like the picnic.
Okay. So Ashley, you want to check on dates? Or do you know dates?
If it's a Wednesday or Thursday, I could pretty much guarantee you that it will be available. If we pick a date, I'll check and let us know within this afternoon. I would say probably the end of June.
That's what I'm thinking.
I think when we get into July with 4th of July, this gets a little hectic and a lot of people have vacation summer plans.
Oh, and you know what else?
And I was gonna say, that's already a hectic day with our drawings, so
Yeah, I will not be.
June 23rd. And maybe in lieu of our weekly meeting, we could just do the picnic afterwards, instead of having to meet twice on the same day.
Right.
Speaker then, David. Is that the David, what's her name's coming? 23rd.
Brianna on, she's got this, hold on a minute. Brianna, do we have a program on June 30th?
On June 30th,
Oh, I'm sorry.
23rd.
the 23rd, we have Kate Willard of the Social B Marketing Agency.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, can we do the 30th?
Who is the program?
Do we have a program on June 16th?
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's Tom.
I've been waiting.
I request Tom speaks 2 weeks in a row.
Or even July 7th. June 16th, June 30th. And another, while we're looking at, you're in the calendar on that area, June 26th is a regional for the district assembly. It's for all club officers and anybody else who just wants to learn more about Rotary. So, and if we want to get a grant next year, somebody has to go do the grant training. I will be there, but I will not do the grant training. You don't want me to do the grant training. That's not my thing.
Not interested in where's the grant training.
But it is a good thing to go to. We have to have somebody go to the grant training.
Okay, that's June 26th.
June 26th. Okay.
And then
Where is that?
that'll be at Flatwoods again.
Flatwood, yeah.
July 7th would not work for the large shelter. We have a group that
that's-
stays that whole week and they
Right, let's
utilize
check
it for
the
dinners.
16th and the 30th. Is those, you said those
16th is Tom.
Oh, okay, June
Did
30th.
we move our speaker from the 23rd?
But the 30th, we will have to have a club meeting because we're doing the drawing that day. So if everybody's willing to meet 2 times on the same day.
Yeah,
You do the drawing and the picnic?
yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Josh.
30th is the end of the year anyways.
All right.
It doesn't say what time, so I'll just change the event page to say, at our picnic, not our meeting.
Well, if that's our meeting, then it would be the same thing anyways.
Mhm.
Just put New Perkins, so change that off.
Okay, does anybody else have anything before we go on to our speaker?
If you guys can hear me, I don't know if you guys have already talked about this, but there is a graphic on our Facebook page for the raffle or the drawing, I guess is what it's called.
Yes.
So if you want to share that, and I don't know when we're actually going to get the physical tickets to sell, but it's at least there so the community can, start participating, and it'll be in the chamber newsletter next week.
We've got the tickets, Brianna. Yeah, we've already got the tickets.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Ready to introduce our speaker?
I have 2 guests today.
All right.
This is Thomas. He just turned 3, and I invited him today because he is associated with who our speaker is. Our speaker is Haff. She's from Children's Home Society of West Virginia, and they are a foster and adoption placement agency. And I got both of my children through her agency. So this is Kara. She's their permanency supervisor of the wheeling office.
So I'm the supervisor for the Children's Home Society at the Wheeling Office. So we have 15 sites across the state of West Virginia that have permanency programs. So we certify our families to foster to adopt, and then we also have a private adoption program. So the private adoption program is a little unique. Birth moms can create an adoption plan pretty much, and they're relinquishing their rights to Children's Home Society where there's no CPS involvement. So, but with that private adoption program, we don't do very many of them a year. We only do about a handful. But last year, we had 131 adoptions from foster care. And we served over 15,000 children. So we need foster parents. So how do you become a foster parent? What are the requirements? So our requirements is 21 to 65. It's not a black and white requirement, but I like to throw in for our wheeling office that you need to be a West Virginia resident, just because 10 minutes, you know, you're in PA, 10 minutes you're in Ohio. So you do have to reside in West Virginia. Be able to pass background checks, homeowners insurance, health insurance. One thing too is that all of our trainings are free. You see a lot of things online that people are spending $50,000, $60,000 for adoptions. We don't charge our families anything. The only fee you're going to pay in one of our programs is if you adopt a child that's not a West Virginia child or a child internationally. We do have an international program too, and that's a flat $3,000 fee because we apply for, you know, those benefits and stuff that kids are going to get when they're coming from CPS. So someone can just call our office. They can say, hey, how do I become a foster parent? We run through those minimum requirements. Normally we'll mail out a packet and mail it back. We normally do our home visits to kind of get the process rolling and certification done. Normally once a month, but with COVID, we've been doing them a lot on Zoom. But we're starting to get back into some of our in-person trainings, which we're excited for. Other than that, I think that's pretty much all I have. I do have pamphlets if anyone knows anyone that's interested or just wants some more information. I have pamphlets and a business card.
So back to those first statistics that you just shared with us,
I didn't want to be a number.
was that in just 1 year that many kids were brought into the foster care system?
2019 to 2020. So we finalized 3 private adoptions, 5 international, and 131 from foster care. And we served over 15,000 children, but that includes, so 700 of them were through foster care and 800 of them were emergency shelters. Like some of our sites, like all of our 15 sites have pretty much the same mission, but they're just a little bit different. Like our Parkersburg office has tons of resources at their permanency office. They have Perk to 3 right on site. They have transitional living program and after school program, and their shelters right across the street. But Wheeling, we're just a little bit smaller, so we just have the permanency program right now.
Still astonishing.
Yeah.
I had lunch with Karen. I asked her today, out of all the kids you see, what percentage do you think are somehow or another involved in drugs? Karen?
About 90%. Most of our babies are drug exposed. So, and a lot of foster families come to us because, you know, their goal is to adopt. But we try to, you know, you just don't know with that drug exposure what the long-term issues are going to be.
So along that line, my daughter's a baby cuddler in Bridgeport, West Virginia. And the babies that need cuddled are typically, like drug babies. Okay, so she was telling me one weekend she was cuddling a baby and it was crying, just broke her heart. And so I asked her, I said, well, what is it, like, is the mother involved at all? And they're not. And she said, like, these kids go to foster care. How does that, like, is there somebody wait, like, how does that connection happen? So this mom goes in and she has a baby and it's born drug addicted and she's not going to keep baby is going to go to foster care. How does that connection how do you connect the dots?
So in West Virginia, they will not remove babies if they're just exposed to marijuana. It has to be marijuana on something else. So if it's like marijuana on cocaine or fentanyl, heroin, whatever, if the baby comes back positive, the state's going to do an emergency route and take immediate custody. Normally at that point, once they have baby in legal custody, that's when they start calling the foster care agencies. So I could get a referral and say, hey, I have this baby, he's 5 days old, drug exposed, we're gonna need a foster home. So babies it depends on how long they're in the hospital. Normally they're called NAS babies. So if they're normally in the hospital, they hold about 5 days. But if the withdrawal symptoms are so severe, they can be in the hospital up to months. So when we get that referral and we know, we connect that family, our family's immediately going in and bonding with that baby. A lot of our families will go stay at the hospital.
I wonder, because Megan said the one of the babies that she cuddled a few weeks ago, she's like, she cuddled her a couple days and then the foster mom was coming.
Yeah.
But it just didn't get the connection.
I can say from personal experience, it's a super fast process. Super fast. So for Thomas, I got a call, I think on a Tuesday at 2:30 in the afternoon, and it was the social worker, and she said, we have a baby, he's 5 days old, he's gonna be removed. Luckily, he did not have any drugs in his system, but he was being removed for other reasons. So they wanted to find a foster placement. So I said, well, let me talk to my husband this evening, I'll let you know. And she said, well, you got 10 minutes, or I'll have to move on to the next family. And I said, okay, I'll give you a call in 10 minutes. So I called my husband, he's a school teacher, teaching school. I can't get a hold of him. I'm texting. I'm like, I need to talk to you emergency. Can't get a hold of him. Calling. Social worker calls back and says, do you have an answer? And I'm like, yeah, I can't give you a yes until I talk to my husband. I'm like, give me 5 more minutes, please. I called John Marshall, talked to whoever answered the phone, and said, can you please go get my husband? I need to talk to him now. It's, So he gets on the phone, of course, thinking something happened to Taylor. I go over the details. He's like, well, can't we talk about this tonight? I'm like, I have 2 minutes, Jason. 2 minutes. So he says, yes, let's do it. So I called back Stephanie, who was my social worker at the time, called her back, agreed, went to her office. So first call was at 2:30. He was in my home at 6:30 that night.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Super fast. Huh.
Everybody wants those babies.
Wow.
Or because if we don't find a family, the social worker is going to find another agency that finds a family.
So then after that happens, the mother has time to change her mind, or do they ever get them back?
So when CPS takes, their legal custody, there's kind of a series of hearings. But yeah, there will be a preliminary hearing, which is basically saying, yes, the state, I did something wrong. The state had the right to take the custody for now. And then there's an adjudication hearing, which is basically like, I'm guilty of being an abuseful and neglectful parent, but it's not from the court. Normally after they're adjudicated, they'll get what's called an improvement plan. So they have to do all these things to make their life right. They might have to go to drug treatment court. They're gonna have to drug screen, do supervised visits, parenting classes, all those different things before a child can be reunified. And I mean, typical CPS cases are only supposed to be like 6 to 9 months, but they can last 2 years. They can last a long time. But the end of that is either the child's reunified, or they'll be adopted by the foster family, or there might be some relative.
What is the average age of the foster children that you have right now?
Right now, we have a lot of littles. Our oldest right now is 12, but we have a lot of drug exposed infants. We really need homes for teens. That's definitely, I hate getting referrals when it's a teen and, foster families are scared of them. I would think a teen would be ideal because they sleep through the night. They don't require diapers. Everybody's scared of them,
So if someone wanted to foster like a teen, but they weren't really interested in adopting at that time, do they still let the family do that?
Yeah.
Foster them?
Yeah, so we certify our families. Sometimes we'll get families that will say, I just want to adopt. Or there'll be families that will say, I just want to foster. But they change their minds a lot. And that's why we certify them to just foster. And a lot of times we'll know that too. Like if we're getting the referral, we'll say, hey, I need a home for a 9-year-old, but they're legally free. I need an adoptive family. We're not going to call a family that's just foster. Or if we can't find a family and the foster family is just willing to take, we can find an adoptive family, then we can
do that too.
Does it have to be a two-parent family?
No, nope. We have single parents, we have same-sex couples. So I actually have a couple now that's not married. You don't have to be married either, so.
When Jennifer got her first son, Chandler, again, time constraints. She got the call, she tried to get a hold of her husband wasn't answering the phone. And I worked at Reynolds, she called me at Reynolds, and they lived in Macon. She said, Dad, I need to talk to Jason. So I left work, but I'm banging on the door. He comes to the door and said, you gotta call Jen. What's wrong? He calls Jen, they have a conversation. Here comes Chandler.
You have to act fast. They have to find placement, so,
Yeah.
and it's super fast, so.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but a neighbor of mine, a couple doors up, she's an older lady, just not adopted, she's fostering a 5-year-old little girl, she just got from your place.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That's my small world.
Yeah.
What else involved in becoming a foster? What are the steps you need to take?
So after there's minimum requirements, so there's a pride training, it's 21-hour course, but it's a one and done. So once you take it, you don't have to take it again. There's a trauma training, it's a 9-hour course, but it's a one and done. So once you take it, you don't have to take it again. You have to be CPR and first aid certified. And then there's just some little trainings that you do on your own, like bloodborne pathogens, medication administration. You're gonna do a safe sleep training, pregnancy prevention and sexual development training, and LGBTQ training. Let's see what else. And then, so when we're doing the home visits once a month, and like the home finding process, that's just us getting to know you. We're trying to get to know the foster parents. We're trying to get to know your family. And I always say, by the time we're done with this and I'm writing your home study, I'm gonna be your best friend because I'm gonna know everything about you.
You said that 65 was the oldest age for foster parent. Do you get a lot of older people in their 60s that are fostering?
I do. I actually have one right now. He's 65 and his wife is 55. But we do tell them up front that we wouldn't recommend babies in there for permanency. So, but they're interested in older right now. So, but and he's a spitfire. I love him. He's gonna be a good foster parent. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything else for the benefit of the public?
Oh, and next Wednesday, they're gonna have walk around Wednesdays, the chamber, so they're gonna have some food trucks.
Yeah, one that we know.
Yeah. So,
That's from like 11 to 2 or 11 to 1, something
yeah.
like that.
I think it's
Jefferson, is that correct?
Then in the city on the east side, Ruttenberg, there will be the John Marshall Steel and Percussion Band performing.
Oh, okay.
And that will be 11:30 to 1:30.
Oh, wow.
Well, they should, John.
We
We have to go before.
have to go with alliteration, it's Wonder Out Wednesday, so. There you go.
Right.
Wonder here.
Okay.
So are we going to meet here as well, or are we going to support the walk around Moundsville?
That's up to you. We need to.
I need to meet here because we need to get, I need to work on
That's
getting the
fine.
tickets out.
Okay,
That's good.
we will have a meeting next Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay, if nothing else, meeting's adjourned. And like I said, I have these, they're small, but if anybody.
Thanks for always joining us, Brianna. Have a great day.
Stacy, will you bring?
You too.
Thank you.